the last time there was this big of a software misstep and debacle, it was with Apple Maps.
Yeah.
And they fired Scott Forstall, the leader of software.
Mm-hmm.
They ruthlessly cut him.
Yeah.
What do you think we should expect here? Do we expect anything?
No.
We don't expect. I mean, unfortunately, if you were going to have a similar situation, it would be Craig.
Oh yeah, but
on the line.
No, dude. Welcome. Okay, immediately laugh. Welcome to everybody. Oh my God, you threw me off so hard. Welcome everybody to Recycle Bin episode 24.
Welcome to everybody to Recycle Bin. Welcome Recycle Bin to everybody.
Today on Recycle Bin, we will be addressing some drama, talking about some upcoming videos, not just one, but more than one. I am excited about Survivor. I'm going to talk about that. We're both excited about wrestling. Definitely going to talk about that. And we have a lot of voicemails from you guys, the listeners, the viewers, which you can also leave your own. 404-919-5530.
Call and ask any question you want. It won't make it into this episode, unfortunately, but maybe you'll end up in next week's if you call real soon.
Exactly. I was going to say the same thing.
Thank God for voicemails.
They're awesome. I love this.
Imagine if I was just in charge of talking about what will we talk? Apple News?
Yeah. Well, that's the other podcast you do.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's quickly get into the drama part, address it, and continue with the podcast.
Okay, so I don't know if it's lame, but I wrote it down.
I think you wrote it down because it's important to you, and you wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
You didn't forget anything.
I didn't want to freeball it and
freeballing is dangerous.
And I'm sorry if my energy is off. I am personally, I feel hurt a little bit, and I am. This isn't a fun situation, so I'm not trying to be
The whole thing is a bit draining, personally. Yeah, I get it.
Okay, here we go. Are you ready? Drum roll, please. This is the first time we've ever had to do this, so this feels very...
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Now, some of you may or may not have seen a thread about me on Twitter. I did not plan to comment initially because the render artist making these claims is under 18 years old, and that makes this sort of a tough one to navigate cleanly. I want everyone to know that context is important here. My position is that most of this thread feels misconstrued, it lacks important context, parts are false, and frankly feel too far and personal. Agreements had been made before this thread was posted, and knowing this, the person posted it anyway, leading me to question their intentions here a little bit. Regardless, this thread doesn't change any of those agreements that have been made. However, it does highlight a big, major flaw of mine, which is not exclusive to this situation, which is lack of communication or poor communication.
Oh, yeah.
Inside and out of work stuff, you may agree.
Yeah.
So, we've made steps to correct this. We are removing me from that communication process. Our managers will be communicating those important things in the future. I will no longer be part of this. I want to assume that this post was done with good intentions. I will not be disparaging anyone involved, posting my own receipts, or further discussing this. People can make their own assumptions without changing the fact that due to my position, I may not be able to say anything. Obviously, as a fan, you can believe all of these claims at face value if you want. I understand. I get it. For the rest of us, though, I'd like to get back to making cool shit.
Okay, let's get back to the podcast.
Welcome back to the podcast.
Yeah. So something weird happened last week, which I gotta double check with you. Is episode 24 the record-breaking one? Is this now uncharted territory, or was that last week?
Yeah, no, we're here. This is uncharted territory.
Wow. This is equally a little frustrating because last week we actually, due to unrelated life circumstances, that episode was recorded if you notice, we missed a week of upload.
Oh, I have forgotten about that.
Yeah, so the one that was posted last Monday, the 7th or something. I'm not good at days. Anyway, was recorded a week prior. So for instance, there was a few comments that are how are you guys not talking about what happened in the wrestling world? So we're going to talk about that today. That podcast was just a bit out of date. But before that, I would really like to talk about some videos we have planned. I mean, everybody knows at this point that we have an iOS 19 leak planned. We're working on that actively. That's just frankly a doozy.
Yeah. Seeing the whole thing. We've been saying that for like the last few weeks, almost 2 months, that we had seen iOS 19 and that we're working on this video. We've said, luckily, we said multiple times that there is a redesign. That is a thing that has happened.
Oh, yeah.
And if you watched our camera, like the video about the camera, app that we had seen, it looks a lot like Vision OS.
More of that.
And since then, Mark Gurman has come out
with
his own report saying that it's going to that iOS 19 has the biggest redesign since iOS 7. Daring Fireball, John Gruber made a really I love John Gruber. He just came out of nowhere with his own article. I don't know if there's beef between him and Gurman right now, but he basically wrote an article just reminding people that even though Gurman said this today, Front Page Tech said this 57 days ago and made an article about that, about how Gurman was a little vague and we were putting our names on it and saying, we weren't being vague and saying, it's going to look different. We showed you what it's going to look like. So we're doing the same thing with the rest of it. We're going to show you what the rest of it looks like. But the fact that Mark Gurman has come out and said it, I think that helps. That also helps suspiciously, like, I don't know what happened.
Okay.
I don't think I've said this on Recycle Bin, and because I'm not sure what caused it or what happened, but a week or so ago, Mark Gurman followed me on Twitter.
Oh, was he not before?
No, he had followed me before, but we had a whole falling out, and he's if you if you have a friend in high school and they make you mad, you might unfriend him on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
That sort of thing. So he unfollowed me a long time ago and
I see.
has stayed away from me and tried to not interact with me at all. And he followed me on Twitter, and I just think maybe he last week heard some information about iOS 19 from his sources.
Yeah. It
maybe lined up with something that I said. Maybe he saw a couple new iPhones that also seemed to match something that I said.
Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe fences are being mended.
Dude, I got to be honest. Recycle Bin is not really a guest show.
He won't come on.
I would.
No way.
That'd be so cool.
There's no way.
I'll talk about whatever with Gurman.
He was just
sneakers?
on Geared Up with Andrew Edwards.
He
doesn't do podcasts that would maybe possibly be unsafe environments for him.
Oh, well, I mean, this is unsafe for both of us.
Yes.
If you saw last week, we ate sardines, which, funny enough, a lot of people were like, you guys are babies.
No.
You know what?
I don't.
I agree.
No, I'm not playing that game. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No.
I think we're babies.
No, we're not.
I've been... Okay. I haven't talked about this on the podcast, but, like, one of my favorite shows of all time is Survivor.
Okay, yeah.
And this stems back to, like, childhood.
Okay.
Because... if I'm not wrong, the first season of Survivor aired I forget because I'm catching up, but it's aired in either 2000, 2001, or 2002. It was very early, over 20 years ago. Which, by the way, the entire catalog is available to be watched on Paramount Plus.
Oh wow, Paramount Plus, huh?
50 seasons.
What?
There's a lot of seasons of Survivor.
It hasn't been on for 50 years.
Yes, it has. 50 Survivor years. No, it hasn't. Okay. But dude,
Jesus,
we started talking about this before the podcast because I'm just excited.
We're
about
not allowed
things.
to talk about things anymore. He started. We were sitting down just being friends, and he started telling me about Survivor, and then just stopped. And he's like, "I'll wait for the podcast." Yeah, that's where we're at.
I know, but I like to save the real enthusiasm because you asked me why I love Survivor so much. And you never watched it. Right. Well, now I'm going to tell you as a friend and a podcast co-host.
Okay, go ahead.
So going back, and this sounds like something that would have happened at like a workplace.
Okay.
But Survivor, at least, I'm assuming a lot of people feel this way, but Survivor was very much like a cultural phenomenon. Like the first season of Survivor is some of the most watched TV in like history, if you didn't know.
Okay. Why?
They took...
Is it scripted?
No.
I might have it confused for Lost. I may have this whole time.
Are you fucking joking? That's insane.
It's not
It's
similar?
a reality TV show. They took 16
That's
people.
what I thought it was. A reality like it's filmed like The Office.
This is
a
the pirate
reality
thing.
TV show.
This is the pirate thing all
you know
over
what I mean?
again.
How The Office is like filmed like a reality TV show, but it's definitely scripted. That's what I thought Survivor was.
No.
Is that Lost?
Yeah. That's a narrative TV show. It's a television
is Lost
drama.
Survivory?
No, I mean,
Well, how do I have this in my head?
okay, the people on Lost, their plane crashes on an island, and they
Okay. How
But-
do people when Survivor get on the island?
get dropped off
By a plane?
by a boat usually.
Okay.
but it's not always an island. That's okay. Listen, I just want to. I'm going to go back to where I was before
Yes,
you
I'm sorry.
levied that insane comment to me.
Okay.
So back when we were like 9, 10-ish, Survivor would come on every week. It was running, and television was a much smaller sphere.
Mm-hmm.
Like network television, everybody was kind of watching the same shows, right? Mm-hmm. So we would watch Survivor. I remember that being like regularly the last thing I saw before I went to bed, before a school night. Come to school, and then everybody would be like, did you guys see what happened on Survivor?
I don't know how I missed any of that.
It was amazing. Every week. It was one of my favorite things.
My
And,
friends and I talked about Fear Factor.
Well, that too. I mean, but like, I'm just, regardless.
It was around the same time, right? Started like around the same time.
Yeah, mid-2000s.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that feeling of a small world, everybody's watching the same TV shows, and you get to talk about it. My wife and I, we are rewatching from the beginning, season 1 all the way up.
Jesus.
We're skipping around because there's some bad seasons.
Okay.
But the one we're on
Some
right
seasons
now,
you couldn't survive.
yes. So just so you know, because I think this is fascinating. The first season, they were on an island called in Borneo. The second season, they were stranded in the Australian outback.
Okay.
And the third season, they were in the African plains. Fourth season, back to another island.
Okay.
So like they go all over the place, right? The sixth season, they're in the Amazon. And the setup for the sixth season is that, again, this is like 2003. Okay. So we're back in time, which is another insanely cool benefit to me.
Okay.
But it's men versus women.
Oh.
So a team of men trying to survive and play these games against a team of women.
Was this what Bernie Burns was on?
He was on the Amazing Race. You just
So the same thing, basically.
everything you say is a little bit wrong. Almost everything you ever say, except Apple stuff. You're 100%.
No, I'm still a little wrong there. Like
You have in
I
the
forgot.
past.
I called the iPhone 7 Plus the
yeah.
the iPhone 7 Pro, or I don't know.
You
what I
mixed
did.
something up, yeah. But I'm gonna make you watch Survivor because I think it's maybe the greatest television show, at least culturally importance level, that has ever existed.
What?
It's incredible. I hope. No spoilers, by the way, guys. I haven't seen any modern
Nobody
Survivor.
survives.
I haven't seen any modern Survivor. So
How do you win Survivor?
you be the last one.
You are the survivor.
Yeah, but do you know how hard that is? Okay, so
It's called Survivor, right? And the last person it wins. That's the survivor. Does that
Yes.
mean everyone else died?
no, they get voted off.
Oh,
It's so okay.
they get voted to death.
Here's the plan. Here's how the game is structured, and you tell me it doesn't sound interesting.
Okay.
16 people
Yes.
they're split into 2 tribes at the beginning of the show.
Okay.
I like how I'm explaining the rules of Survivor in 2025. And then progressively, winning or losing challenges. If you lose a challenge, your tribe gets sent to tribal council, where you then have to vote somebody off.
Tribal.
Don't make a joke.
Combat?
Yeah, there you go. And then eventually, the tribes are combined to one tribe.
Until there's a tribal chief.
Kinda. There's leaders, but so after a certain point, people who get voted off, when it gets small enough, they go onto a jury, a silent jury, and this jury, at the end of the day, like there will be 2 final survivors left. The jury is the one that decides who wins.
Oh.
So it's survival for 39 days
Okay.
within nothing. You have to build the shelter. You have to catch your own food. You have to boil your own water. Do everything yourself, while also doing the host Jeff Probst puts them up to the most ridiculous challenges.
He probes them.
He'll be like, "Hey guys, I know you don't sleep well because you're you're on an island and it stormed last night and it blew your shelter away. but you had to travel 4 hours to get where you are now.
Yeah.
I need you to stand on this post for the last person to fall off wins. Mm-hmm. And they stand there for 8 hours. Like,
that sounds terrible.
I would not. It's for $1 million.
I would just go,
It's for $1 million. And one of the best parts is that, especially in these early episodes, all the rewards that aren't like Survivor based,
okay,
are very obviously, like looking back, very shitty cars.
Okay.
They'll be like, for this reward, if you win, you get a Saturn.
Okay. I mean, it's still, you didn't buy it. You didn't buy it.
I know, but it's like, dude, like,
you suffered for it.
You can tell that at the stage of the game that these people are in, it's like, cool, thanks for the car, but like, I would have preferred like a pizza.
Yeah.
Like, because it's like day 25 without any contact with your loved ones and you're stuck with these people you hate, technically. Yeah. Here's a car that you can't drive until you get back to the U.S.
Wow.
It's a great show.
Well,
I love it to its core.
Since this is this is controversy surrounding John Prosser episode.
Okay.
I have a confession.
What, is it all fake?
The controversy?
Yeah, no.
Me?
Anyway.
Which part?
Okay, anyway, what's your confession?
My confession is I have also been watching a show. A competition, you could say. Well, there was also a winner at the end.
A winner?
A winner?
Oh, okay.
There is a winner at the end.
What do you can you just say what you're watching?
How do I say this? Bethany wanted me to watch a show on Netflix, okay?
Is it Love is Blind?
It is that.
Yeah.
And
it's great.
Okay, you agree?
Oh, I've seen parts, but like, I love reality TV shows. I love reality shows. I
didn't want anyone to know I was watching it, and I watched all of it. And not only did I watch all of it, like by the time we watched what had been uploaded or what had aired already,
yeah.
It was like the following week were the weddings, and that hadn't been posted yet. And I was like excited about that.
No,
and then
dude.
they had the reunion episode. I was also excited about that. I don't know. It feels good to have said that and to be accepted.
I a long time ago, this happened to me in high school. When I was a kid, I have an older sister. And she is like a good bit older than me, and we grew up watching MTV together, things like that. I used to love watching The Real World. That transitioned with her. That transitioned into me. I loved Jersey Shore.
Oh, yeah.
Because
never watched that.
It's just trash TV. I love reality TV when it's good, and that's what that like.
Well, the concept is nuts. For
those
of you who
great.
don't know what Love is Blind is, it's a bunch of blind people. They set up pods, and each person goes in the pod, but they can't see each other. They can hear each other, but they can't see each other. And they sit on a lovely romantic couch with decorations in the pod in the room, and all they can do is talk to each other. And the goal from first date, when you're in the pod together, is within 5 weeks you're married.
Yeah.
These are complete strangers at the beginning. And at the beginning you have to siphon through all the girls siphon through most of the guys through siphon most through the girls, and they'll have to like hopefully feel like they have a connection with one of them. And then decide to pursue that connection. Sometimes they become exclusive. They become girlfriend and boyfriend, which means they stop having pod dates with the other people. And then it ends by proposing. The person proposes to the other person, and then after the proposal, they get to see each other. The concept is crazy. And a shocker, most of them don't work out. It's insane.
My favorite clips that I've seen are like from the weddings, where it's like the guy will think the bride is coming down, and he's like, "You're beautiful," and that's just like a guess. He's like, "Oh," like because he has no idea.
Well, it's kind of like. So I guess there are a few places where it could crumble, and that is in the proposal.
Yeah.
The woman could say,
Yeah.
They could break up prior to that. And that's one of those things where if they break up, assuming, because very rarely at that stage in the show does one person still have two connections.
Oh, yeah.
So if there is a breakup, it's likely that they leave. They just leave the show.
Right.
Because everyone else has been taken.
They've been paired up, yeah.
And so you could say no during the proposal, and then if it gets further than that, they go on after they see each other, then the show sends them all on a trip together.
Yeah.
And that can stir up their own controversy. They live together for like a hot second. And then it gets far enough to where the wedding is planned, paid for, everything is ready, and you don't actually know the answer until they're both on the altar.
Yeah.
And one of them has to say, they either both say yes or one of them says no.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it ends, in a wedding.
Yeah.
That's an insane climax that you don't actually know until the wedding. No weddings work like that.
No.
Hopefully.
You're usually pretty cemented by the wedding point.
If you've invested and gotten that far and you're on the altar, the chance of you saying no is much lower than it is on Love is Blind.
Yeah. No,
it's
dude,
insane.
I'm telling you, like, reality TV is fantastic. It just, you got to see the right shows.
So I shouldn't feel icky about it?
No. You know who, okay, one of your favorite people, content creators that you don't talk about enough, Jeff Ramsey.
I love
from
Jeff,
Rooster Teeth.
yeah.
He is a massive fan of Love is Blind, Love Island,
really?
all these shows.
He's cool. So if he's cool, I'm cool.
Exactly.
I like it. Okay.
But yeah, no, dude, yeah. Like, reality TV, it's addictive. Like, it's to the point every night my wife and I are watching Survivor. Mm-hmm. Usually at least one episode. Sometimes it's two.
Yeah.
Oh, it's phenomenal. It's so fun to be like, I can't believe they voted so-and-so off. That was so stupid. Like,
Well,
it's so much fun.
At first it started out as I wanted to watch it as a bribe.
Oh, for like, yeah, be like, yeah, sure, no problem. I'll watch the show.
So she wanted me to watch it, and I was going to watch it just as like, so by the end I could say, okay, but now you have to watch one of my shows. Because for years I have been trying to get her to watch The Office from beginning to end. There's only 2 shows that are important for me that she sees. Well, 3 now. The Office, Ozark.
Oh, you like that show a lot.
Yeah. And now Severance. And I'm sorry. If I gave such a thing like Love is Blind a chance, without knowing that I was going to like it at the end, I just feel like it's only fair. I ended up just really liking Love is Blind, and the next season I will probably watch the second it comes out, and it's a problem.
You got to...
That's my only reality show I like.
Do me a favor. No, give Survivor a shot.
Let's just have a watch-along on the show.
It's actually... That would... like, I would love to do that with anything, by the way. Just throwing that out there. Mm-hmm. But people, especially with Survivor, like Reddit, like they still do that. They'll do a watch along. They'll be like, "Okay, guys, this month we're gonna watch season 7 or something," and it's like they'll watch an episode every week and have a discussion thread about it.
Yeah,
it's a very cool. Like, it makes it new again.
Well, are the beginning episodes old enough to where we could watch them as a watch along and not get hit with a copyright strike?
No, they're still making money on them.
That's unfortunate.
But the only thing that's strange is like, especially the early seasons. It's early 2000s.
Okay.
So, for instance, season 4 of Survivor got kind of thrown together because of 9/11. Yeah, like that. Like, there's.
Did they still?
What? Did they still what?
They still drop them off with a plane.
Again, at no point did they drop anybody off with a plane.
Oh, which one is that?
That is Lost.
Oh.
And they didn't drop them off. The plane fucking crashes. Anyway.
I'm trying not to...
My point.
Say anything after that.
You probably shouldn't.
Okay.
My point is that, like, for instance, there may be a member of the cast who is gay.
Okay.
And one of the other, because it's the early 2000s, and like people were like way less tolerant and way more bigoted back then, and just closed up. Mm-hmm. They would be like, that guy's gay. Okay. Like, you know what I mean? They'll be weird about it.
The way you said that.
Or like, if they're regularly are like black people and white people and people from all different races.
Oh, imagine that.
Yeah. But like, people will make comments that are like, ooh, we probably wouldn't say that now. Right. Like, some of the stuff is like weird and like has not aged well, I think is the best way I could say it. But the show itself.
How it was fine then is I don't.
It really is
understand.
crazy. Yeah, it hasn't been that long, but it feels like it should have just been this way the whole time.
Like, if we were adults in 2020, can I try again? Yeah. If we were adults in 2004 and someone said something like that on a TV show, would we go, huh?
I don't know, man. It's hard to like look back retroactively.
Yeah.
Because everybody is always a member or like a product of their time, you know? But anyway, I just had to talk about Survivor because, man, I'm eating it up. it's like special place in my heart, and it's just so fun. So
I'm glad you're having fun.
I would love for you to get on the Survivor train, or you know.
That's what I'm doing right now is surviving.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're about to be voted off.
It feels like it.
Yeah.
It feels like I'm getting voted off.
Oh.
What's next?
Well,
you're the boss. You run it.
So I want to talk about wrestling.
Okay.
But we also have a voicemail about wrestling. I mentioned in the beginning.
We have a lot of voicemails.
I have a lot of voicemails. This is the most voicemails we've ever had on an episode. I kind of just want to get into it.
We should, yeah.
But before that, the sponsor of today's episode is store.frontpagetech.com.
Go buy things.
Hat.
Go buy things.
Socks.
There are things.
Shirts.
And with currency, you can obtain them.
That's true.
That is the place to do that.
Where's your hat?
Store.frontpage.com. Who knows, man?
Bridget, my wife,
Somewhere.
her dad, my dad-in-law bought a hat, and he looks great in it.
He also calls us Jern and Bern now, which
is very
odd.
strange. Yeah, it's like my work name.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I think I just want to get into voicemails. You down?
Okay, take me there, Daddy.
Oh wait, one last thing.
Okay.
We're making another video.
Imagine that.
I don't know.
The video makers are making a video.
It's going to be pertinent to a lot of voicemails.
Okay.
This all like works out very well. Like,
Yeah.
You guys really ate up the last episode. Our next video that isn't a leak video is a sort of State of the Union about Apple.
Not a good one. The union is not good.
So with that in mind, we have a lot of voicemails about that.
Okay.
So
Fair.
let's get into some voicemails.
Let us.
Let us. First one I want to hear from is not even a question, and it's a strange one. Here we go from Blair.
Oh, Blair.
Hey, this is Blair in
What
Palm
a
Springs,
voice.
formerly West Hollywood, about the Kegel exercises. My massage teacher.
Just to be clear,
What's happening? Is
He's-
he in a hot bathtub? Like what?
he made sure to he said about the Kegel exercises. So this is a reference to last episode when we all did Kegels.
Yeah.
How does this stuff? One, she described it as what you do when you're stopping your pee stream in midstream.
That's true.
Also, the reason that she was explaining it is that it increases the intensity of your orgasms if you work on those particular muscles. So, there's an added
It also
facet
helps in
on-
controlling such
Take care.
things.
That's it. That's all he said.
Wow, what a
He-
show.
he
What
went-
this is a tech show.
Well, he went in to say he listened to another voicemail.
You see there are headphones and email
Tech things, and there's
stuff
an iPod.
Wi-Fi and
Yeah.
game controllers.
So I just wanted to. He also said he wanted us to know
Mm-hmm.
that he meant intensity and not quantity. So don't expect more orgasms.
Yeah.
I also wanted to put out a public apology. This is my YouTuber apology.
Go ahead. Did you write it down too?
I didn't have to write this one down.
Okay.
There was a comment that said that they participated in the Kegels with us, which thank you for throwing us a bone.
You say with us, but that's not true.
What do you mean?
You did this.
You did him too.
No. I am the us. No.
Yeah, you
I
are.
am one
That's
of
what
them.
I'm saying.
No. I am one of them.
Nah.
I did it. I was with them doing it with you. This was your doing.
You were part of
did
it.
You were the coach.
We Kegeled around the world.
No.
Anyway.
I was part of the world.
He said he participated and he did not like how they made him feel. So I would like to apologize if anybody felt uncomfortable.
Okay,
from the
did he not
Kegels.
like the way it made him feel like with him doing it, or did he just not like doing it with us?
You know, he didn't expand on that. Yeah.
He was contracting, though.
Yeah, he was. Maybe he wasn't a fan of the group exercise. Yeah, wow.
Thank you, Blair. What a way to start the voicemails.
Tell you what, Jern. Do you want? I'll put you in control of the voicemails today.
How so? I
I
don't
want-
know any of them.
I know, but here I'll give you some topics.
Behind door number 1, 2, and 3.
Sure. Do you want to hear some Apple stuff? Do you want to hear anything wrestling related, or would you like an entry into some drama? Fun drama. It's all fun. Everything's okay.
Let's do drama.
You want some drama?
Uh-huh.
Oh, here we go.
Hey guys, I'm calling again from my iPhone 16 Pro Max, 512 gigabytes, white titanium, the best iPhone ever made, and the best color because that's the titanium is for girls.
Okay, just to be clear, he did not leave us a name. I just have
Okay.
him in here as angry.
Okay.
I wanted John to I wanted you to tell Sam that he's an idiot. I know he's not on this show, but since Genius Bar's fucking dying because y'all want to make 30-minute fucking episodes, I guess I have no choice. I think you should fire that lazy fuck. Always trying to run away, man. Also, don't ever disrespect Bacon Gang. I'm from New York. You greedy ass motherfucker. I know you're just sitting on a shitload of iOS 19 leaves and don't want to share it with your greedy ass, bro. When you're ready to have a real guest on Genius Bar, you got my number, big boy.
What an unhinged way to end that message. The whole thing was unhinged, but you got my number, big boy.
Yeah.
We do. What do you want me to say to that? That was.
We do have his phone number. You want to call him?
That was a lot of.
Yeah, he really hit us. He hit Sam. He's not even here.
Yeah, Sam's not even here to defend himself. The 30-minute episode of Genius Bar was a long time ago. And also, I was like, wow, I don't know if we should include this. He's just attacking Sam. And then he started attacking me.
He did, yeah.
Why call my phone and attack me? Well, it's not my phone, but you know.
It's an entry into the Bacon drama. No disparaging Bacon. He's from New York, too.
There was a split second.
Oh, I thought it was Bacon drama.
You would consider that Bacon drama.
I have it in here as Bacon drama.
Bacon
disrespect.
That whole message, that's what you took from it?
Yeah.
That's like how, when someone uses a 20-second snippet of a song in a 15-minute YouTube video and the brand takes the whole video down because of those 15 seconds, that's what you did. He mentioned Bacon once.
Well, that's the lore for the show. There's a lot of people on here for Bacon stuff.
Well, 404-919-5530, Sam, if you'd like to call in and respond, because that's how we do drama on this show. If you want to call
I don't think Sam's an
Too bad
idiot.
he doesn't have a name.
I just
didn't give a name.
Just have him as angry guy.
What a coward.
He may have called in before. We have quite a few repeat callers, which by the way I love. I remember a lot of names, and people will say like hey, calling again, but I usually remember people by their phone numbers. I know that sounds weird, because it's like I just see repeat phone numbers.
What?
And I just remember. Anyway, what is the issue with that?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It took you like 14 weeks to remember this one.
To remember what?
This one.
Oh yeah, that's our number. I know who we are.
Okay.
All right, spin the wheel, Jern. What do you want to hear? We got more weird stuff.
Give me
too.
an Apple thing.
You want an Apple thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of what the audience would want, because we started off talking about Survivor, Love Is Blind, and then something else.
You've already forgotten. Okay, here we go.
Bern and Jern wanted to be the first to congratulate you for exceeding your record of episodes.
Thank you, Chris.
Congratulations. This is Chris from New York again.
Oh, no.
Actually, an Apple-related comment this time. What are your thoughts about the change in material that's being rumored for Apple going away from glass and back to aluminum, knowing that aluminum's not RF transparent for the MagSafe coil?
What do you think?
Ooh.
What about the old rumors from years ago about using liquid metal? Have you guys heard any rumors about something like that, where they're going through an injection molded metal process? Thanks, guys. Keep it up.
Thanks, Chris.
I mean, we mentioned it on Recycle Bin before, what the most recent version of the prototypes look like.
Yeah.
So, and this is not a secret. I publicly stated this as well. I think Mac Rumors wrote an article about it, that from what I understand, the most current prototype is a unibody aluminum that's for the Pro and the Pro Max, what is now rumored to be an Ultra by Mark Gurman.
It is.
And yeah, you're right. Usually that would mean MagSafe is dead. It's sort of what's happened with the 16E. Is that what it's called?
It's a safe assumption. Changing the material.
So there's two things we can assume.
Yeah.
MagSafe has gone the way of 3D Touch, and it's just gone.
I'm gonna be mad if MagSafe dead. I'm using it currently for my wallet.
Well, even if MagSafe went away, I think that would be such an amazing opportunity for case manufacturers.
Oh,
because then that would be the only way to have MagSafe and use MagSafe accessories and stuff like that.
I just...
I don't think they're going to get rid of MagSafe. What I understand, and listen, I don't know how it works. I did not design it. I am not a scientist. No idea.
Mm-hmm.
They have found a way to make it work.
Yeah, it is Apple. They know what we want, technically, I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
So I'm not sure. I don't know if it's like adhered to the unibody itself. I don't know how it works.
Yeah.
No idea. I don't know. It could be as simple as it's not 100% aluminum. It could be a blend. I do not know. I didn't make it. All I know is like minor details in a game of telephone that I tell you.
What do you think is the best decision for Apple in this regard? Is it dump MagSafe for alternatives, or is it maintain MagSafe?
It has to be maintain MagSafe.
That's what I think as well.
We can't have another thing where they're like, we're all in on this new thing, this new feature, and then take it away. That's what Google does. Google is constantly killing things. Killedbygoogle.com is a website for a reason.
That is true. That is true. Okay, next voicemail. Spin the wheel, Jern. What you want?
What are my choices?
You got weird stuff. You got Apple.
Let's do the wrestling thing.
Ooh, wrestling. Okay. Let me dig through my folder here. Here we go. This is from Martine.
This is Martin from Tucson, Arizona. Oh my God, John Cena went heel. John Cena went heel, bro. What the hell? What is life right now? Oh, I'm freaking out. All right, bye.
One of the coolest things and it's cool. I know it's cool for you, but imagine having invested through his whole career. Like I saw him debut.
Yeah, you weren't able to watch Elimination Chamber with us. The entire time I was watching, I was like, I wish I could stop watching this, or like call you, or I was like, I wish John was here.
Yeah,
because you were freaking out. I know.
And up until that week, like things were really dying down, and we were disappointed in a few different airings to the point where we were having a conversation about, is WrestleMania fucked?
Like
that's how quickly things can change. And I had said in that conversation, trust the process. There's always a plan, and
you're absolutely right. And in fact. Like I said, we uploaded last week's episode like a week late. That is my regret, is that we missed a week to be able to talk about Elimination Chamber. That is my big regret, is that like, damn it, we didn't get to talk about that when it was fresh.
What feels good is that it doesn't. Dave Meltzer, a leaker he's been covering the wrestling industry
call him an analyst.
For basically as long as possible.
Yeah,
analyst, but also leaks stuff. He used to be very accurate, and
something happened.
It's almost like his connection that rhymes with Pince Fictan.
Okay, that's an interesting.
Is gone,
yeah.
and he doesn't actually know anything anymore because he's Dave Meltzer and old, and no one cares. He claims this was like a last-minute pivot. What feels good is that it does not look like that at all. Like, you can look back to multiple occasions that didn't make sense previously throughout the last year that now make all the sense. That's I was really disappointed and annoyed with Rock.
Yeah.
Just showing up and doing bullshit. Like,
but now it
seemed like he was just trying to interrupt and get attention, and now it all makes sense. Even the before Mania last year, the beatdown of Cody Rhodes in the parking lot, there's a truck with John Cena's face on in the background. It's like it's all very clear, and John Cena has been himself in his promos for the last year has been leading up to this. By the way, every time you do that, they hear that
know.
too.
I forgot. I tried to mute it.
It really does feel like it was planned. It's intentional, and I'm very excited. I'm excited for his first promo back.
I always forget how to say this dude's name. He puts out great wrestling-related content. Chris Van
Vliet.
Vliet, okay. He said that months ago, he met with Cena and had like a thing with Cena.
Yeah.
And you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the interview.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said like he wished that there was going to be a time for Cena to turn heel. And I guess off camera, after the episode, Cena was like, wait till you see what we have in store.
Okay, good. Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Well, and hearing a story about how there was a brief moment in the past where maybe like 10 years or so ago where they planned to turn him heel, and the idea was floated, and he liked the idea so much that within a weekend he had a song written, recorded, like he recorded the vocals for it, and presented to them on Monday, and by then they had changed their mind, and I would love to hear a heel theme song for Cena. I wonder if Dr. of Thugonomics will just come back.
Honestly, dude, that was so cool. Like, when I saw his face, I was like, oh shit. And then he kicked Cody in the dick.
Yeah.
That was
I love also the uncensored
go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Rock. Yeah.
I can't remember any situation where that's happened on WWE
TV
before. See, never an F-bomb like that.
I'm in it so new that like I was like, oh, that's cool, but I don't have the. This is
Like-
why I love watching wrestling with you, because you can put
I
everything.
can't
in
remember a
perspective.
single time where there was an uncensored F-bomb as part of a storyline.
Wow.
Where that was like a decision where they're like, yep, say it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, you no longer can you spin the wheel. Most of it is now Apple stuff.
Okay, good.
We're gonna.
Let's make my day worse. Keep going.
No. We're gonna go through some non-Apple stuff real quick though, because this is a fun one. This is for me.
Hi, Jern and Bern.
Hello.
This is Justin from Sin City, Nevada.
Hey, Justin.
And I have a question for Bern. You
That's me.
mentioned some episodes back, probably a couple months back,
Oh yeah.
where you mentioned anime. And I believe one of the animes that you mentioned by name was Bleach.
Yeah.
One, I hope you're caught up on the 1,000-year Blood War arc. And two, who is your favorite character? That's it. Thanks. Bye.
No problem, Justin. Thank you. So I know this question is for me, but I'm gonna give my answer, and then I'm gonna flip it into an interesting direction for you to be able to answer something.
Go ahead.
I am not caught up with Bleach. This anime has hundreds of episodes.
I know it's popular.
It's popular. They just recently released a new, like, modern story arc for it. I have not seen it. I'm excited about it, but I have too much going on. I'm married. I got a kid. I got all these fun things to do with Jern, and then I also have to watch Survivor, and also play video games.
Yeah.
And also do music stuff. Anyway, my favorite character is, shocking, Ichigo. He's the main character.
Okay.
Not surprising.
Okay. Where does
Urahara.
Where does Ichi
Urahara.
go?
All over the place.
Okay.
Yeah, or Urahara, if you're actually interested,
Urahara.
Justin. But yeah, anyway, I have been watching
It sounds
this
like
show.
if you keep saying those words, the furniture is going to start floating in here.
Yeah, fair enough. I've been watching this show. It came out like on TV, on like Adult Swim, I think is where I first saw it, in like 2005 or 6, okay? So I've been watching this show kind of throughout my life. Started up, not finish it, started up, not finish it. So this is like a favorite characters from my like childhood.
Okay.
And like in a way, that's like, it's not cringy, but it's very generic to have the main character of something be like your favorite character. So we already know that you like Xena Warrior Princess.
Love Xena.
And you have other characters from your childhood from television shows.
Walker.
I was going to say, would you like to expand on one of your favorite childhood favorite characters in like media?
Walker, Texas Ranger, Cordell Walker.
Yeah. Played by the incredible...
what an actor.
What an actor. Chuck Norris. Everybody.
Who only plays Chuck Norris in anything that he does.
Yeah.
Like, if you go back and watch the show now, it's very clearly 90s television, and he's not a good actor. But that is the show that I watched the most of. It had the most impact on my life. Chuck Norris was basically my father. And yeah, well, I guess not Chuck Norris, but Cordell Walker.
Specifically.
Yes. Just an incredible show, and very attached to it, and everyone should watch it.
Walker, Texas Ranger.
Everyone should watch it.
Why? Sell them for, I'll give you 15 seconds to sell Walker. Go.
Do you feel like you haven't been living your life in a straight line? Do you feel that you are lost? Do you feel like maybe you aren't the best person? Walker, Texas Ranger will change your life, and you will now believe...
That's enough. You forgot anything about the Cherokee eyes.
You will believe in justice and strive to be a better man.
Wow. That was a good sales pitch.
Yeah. And you'll learn that fighting is not the answer until it is.
Damn. That one kind of hard at the end.
Yeah.
Them was bars. Okay.
And like, he has a gun.
Yeah.
And every time he just throws it away and fights him instead.
He kicks him.
That's the real lesson.
Don't use guns, people. Kick them instead.
Yeah, he brings cowboy boots to gunfights.
It works out in his favor.
Yeah, I've never seen him die.
Except when his wife died and it never got resolved.
Hey. That is the biggest spoiler of the entire show.
It never gets resolved. Doesn't matter.
But now what if they were going to watch it?
But it happened in a movie.
That was the ending of the show, supposed to be. And they didn't get it. Who does that? And then they didn't get a budget. Like, I would not do an ending like that at all if we didn't already have the next one ready and greenlit. But I guess they were trying to do that to bring attention for the next. I don't know. It was a terrible decision.
So for anybody who cares, because you've educated me on this, Walker, Texas Ranger was an episodic show.
Yes.
That was very popular.
Went
but
on
then,
for like 7 or 9 seasons, one of those.
But then eventually just kind of fizzled out and they stopped renewing it.
Well, he got old.
Right.
And he was done.
But then enough funding and interest came in for a 2-part, I thought, movie series, right?
Yeah, CBS wanted to bring it back.
Like a TV movie, two TV movies. First one got made, ended in a massive cliffhanger, and then the second one just never happened.
Never got made. And
That's
now
crazy.
everyone's way too old. Trevette is dead in real life. Like, they literally could not go back and fix this, what they've done. Imagine it just... Imagine season 1 of Severance ends like that, and then they're just like, "Oh, sorry, I don't have the money for a second season."
I mean, it was 3 years. It was close. It was scary. I was like, "Oh fuck, is this coming back?"
Yeah. Anyway, that's what occurred. Or imagine Game of Thrones ended right after they stabbed Jon Snow. Actually, probably should have.
That would have been much better.
They should have ended it there. Sorry, by the way, if
Yeah.
you got spoiled. There's 2 big spoilers right there,
dude. That happened a long time ago.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen it, don't worry about it.
Go watch Better Call Saul.
There's never
Breaking
been
Bad.
a show that was like that high up on best TV show ever made.
Yeah.
And then so fast, completely destroyed.
We legitimately had a podcast about Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Well, that's how big.
It's called Binged.
Yeah, when I was at the beginning of the episode, when I was talking about like how exciting it is to have a show weekly to like talk about with everybody that everybody's seeing, Game of Thrones was kind of the last time that was a thing.
Yeah.
Really.
Yep.
For like
Fantastic
the
show.
world. Yeah, and they fucking killed it.
I can't. It's tragic. It's actually tragic.
It's a tragedy
how that happened.
They killed
The
a
fact
close
that,
friend
like,
of mine.
Not only did it end badly, it ended so badly that it retroactively ruined the show. Like
Nobody
can't
talks about it
rewatch
anymore.
it now. Like
No.
you can't rewatch it because it now goes nowhere.
Yeah, it really does. It is like painful to remember. And now the dude who wrote the books, George R.R. Martin, he's too fucking old to finish them.
Yeah.
He's opening restaurants and bars instead of writing the goddamn books. So
what they actually did through building up this from the very beginning, they're building up a very specific threat.
Yeah.
And then it feels like they're about to actually deliver the threat. There's some incredible visuals.
Yeah.
Some of the best like production you'll ever see for TV. I guess if you want to give them points for that, it would what they did was so lazy and so bad. It is the equivalent of like it would have just been better if the threat killed all the characters. If all the characters just died and you went, oh, well, yeah, that of course that would happen.
I agree with you.
But somehow it's worse than that. They just killed everyone's alive and they just killed their characters.
They killed the show. Like they're like zombies.
Yeah.
But not actually fun zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Moving on to something more lighthearted.
Okay.
Less remembering terrible things.
Yep. I don't like to remember terrible things.
Hello, Bern and Jern. This is Mohammed again, calling from Egypt.
From his girlfriend's phone?
No, that's not Muhammad. Anyway, I'm probably
He called
always
from Egypt, didn't he?
No.
Oh.
I'm probably always going to feature Muhammad from Egypt because the effort he puts in to call in. And he always puts in great questions. So here we go. Everybody enjoy Muhammad.
What a voice.
I wanted to ask John about what he thinks is the most underrated song or songs of Michael Jackson. For me, it got to be Lady in My Life and Butterfly. Honestly, the whole Invincible album and unreleased songs of Michael Jackson, like there's so many unreleased songs that are such a banger. All right, see ya, and thank you.
Thank you, Muhammad.
Yeah, if you're a Michael Jackson fan or you kind of dabble, you need to understand one thing.
I dabble.
You need to understand something.
I'm a dabbler.
Because I agree with him. He's right. This is something we've discussed before. Invincible is the best Michael Jackson album of all time. It also is the worst performing album. It was his last like official, other than like a greatest hits album, you know. And then the ones they posted or released after he died, those don't count.
Postmortems.
No one that is a fan of Michael Jackson counts those. Invincible is the best album Michael Jackson ever released. It was him under pressure when the music industry was changing. After he influenced music through the 70s, 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
You know, pop was becoming like electronic pop was coming into play and changing, and like computers were being used more and more, and you had the Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, Britney Spears, like all of these other artists were music had been changing, and it's like Michael Jackson, I don't think was truly threatened, but he
felt the pressure.
He had to keep up with the times and create similar music, and he fucking crushed it.
He did. It was his response to the changing musical climate.
Yeah, he crushed it. Absolutely incredible album. Sony trashed the marketing for that album. It's probably, I think it is his worst performing album of all time. Sony acknowledged that. He acknowledged that to a very public degree. But it is also his best album, and if you have not heard it, you need to listen through beginning to end today. You pause the podcast, go watch that.
And come back.
Most underrated song.
Yeah, just to make it even more difficult, outside of Invincible.
Outside of the album?
You can't use that album.
That's not fair. That's like the most underrated song to me is Unbreakable.
Yeah, it's a good song, but you got to be more creative. Good luck.
Well, it's not Lady in My Life. Sorry.
Oh, no. Muhammad.
It's also not Butterflies, but Butterflies is on Invincible. Why would he pick Butterflies?
The man likes what he likes.
Call in and explain yourself.
Muhammad,
there's so much good on that. Biggie Smalls is on the album.
You have a platform to call in and explain yourself, your opinion, so feel free to do so when it's when it works for you.
Streetwalker.
Now you're just thinking about Michael Jackson songs.
No, I'm thinking about like ones that are underrated that most people don't think of when they think Michael Jackson. Say, that's with, I guess technically it's Say with Paul McCartney. An incredible song.
I really put you on the spot here.
I'm trying to think of songs, like there's the obvious ones.
What is the obvious ones?
Billie Jean.
Oh, those aren't underrated.
Criminal. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
yeah,
those are overrated. Thriller,
Yeah. I got to be honest. I don't really like Thriller. Like,
what do you mean?
I just don't musically enjoy it. Yeah, the music video is cool.
You don't like Thriller, the song?
No, and I thought I enjoy a lot of Michael Jackson music. I just don't really. Maybe it's like by the time I was like appreciating Michael Jackson for his music and like actually listening to stuff, it had been like oversaturated in my ears.
But you have to try to forget that.
I can't.
And judge the song for what it is.
I like them. I love the music video. It's incredible.
Like Billie Jean and all of these songs are very overplayed and overrated, but they're that way because they're great.
Oh, I also I can't listen to like Bad.
Because of Weird Al?
Weird Al ruined it.
Yeah.
I heard, funny enough, I think Weird Al
Streetwalker's
first.
On the Bad album.
One of the first pieces of music I ever owned was the Weird Al cassette that has fat on it. Yikes! Really? You yikesing me?
Yeah.
Weird Al's incredible.
But to hear his version first is a tragedy.
It was very funny when I was a kid.
The history album, but it's spelled his story kinda.
Yeah.
They made a statue of him for that album. Put it on a river.
One of my favorite,
really good album. They don't care about us is on that album. Obviously, an incredible song.
I'm about to cut you off with the Michael Jackson stuff.
This question was asked for me.
I know, but you've also listed like 9 songs now.
Oh,
you got one. Pick one. You got to follow the rules.
I don't think I can pick one.
Well, what can you do?
I would easily pick one, but it was on the Invincible album, and you excluded the whole album.
Fine, include the album.
Unbreakable is the best Michael Jackson song ever made.
I agree with you.
Okay. I'm glad we agree.
Moving on.
Oh, Jam is also really good.
Is it?
Yeah, I forgot about Jam. What's that on? Bad? Might be on Bad. No. It's on Dangerous.
Dangerous.
The Dangerous album is so good. Oh my God, I forgot about the Dangerous album. How did I forget about that?
I don't know. I've never heard
Dangerous is an incredible song. You haven't heard the Dangerous album?
I've only ever, frankly, what I've heard of Michael Jackson is what you've played for me.
Out.
Well, Jern, listen, if you forgot about the album, that means I haven't heard it.
I mean, I forgot about it right now. I'm sure I played
maybe.
Oh my God,
I've
it's
never.
So good.
I've only ever listened to Michael Jackson with you. Like
Blood on the Dance Floor is an incredible song. They're all coming to me. Blood on the Dance Floor was like a release of 2 songs. Superfly Sister, which is also an incredible song. Blood on the Dance Floor is a great song. Ghost,
I've heard that
awesome song. Threatened, incredible song. Oh, you owe it to yourself to if you think you're a Michael Jackson fan and you dabble, you should dabble in the songs I'm mentioning if you haven't heard them. They are incredible.
You keep bringing
Superfly
up
Sister's so good, dude. Oh, I want to play it right now on the podcast.
We cannot do that.
Wow, I have been downtrodden this whole episode, and I just remembering those songs.
Dude,
I'm so happy.
hey.
You should have started with this one.
You got to put Muhammad on the good side.
You took my Sharpie, so
you were
put
fiddling.
it down.
No, you do it.
Okay,
It's you're the one who has been invigorated, Muhammad.
spell it.
I don't know how to spell his name exactly. Do your best.
Mo.
There you go. That's cool. Muhammad, I hope
Is
you
this
like
the bad side? The good side? Oh no!
Wait, Jey Uso's on the good side.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I did him the wrong color.
Okay. Muhammad, I hope you like the nickname Mo. You've been dubbed Mo.
Mo.
It's kind of that's a cool nickname.
We have to use probably multiple post-its to write his whole name. So
You wrote it on the wrong side.
God.
What is wrong
I
with
don't
you?
even care anymore.
The joke has left. Here, while you're writing that,
No!
we have
Wow, that's much prettier. Here you go.
all of the... He did write that. Very nice. The remaining voicemails we have are all Apple-centric.
Oh, good.
Well, it's a turbulent time. So, we'll just go down the list. And I like this one.
Let us.
Hey guys, it's Sebastian again. So, okay, I had a quick question. So, listen to your podcast, and you're saying that, the base iPhone 17s are going to come out. I look the same. So, John, for you, because I know you got the base iPhone 16, would that push you to upgrade to the Pro and Pro Max or the Air? Or would you just stay with the base 16? Just wanted to get your thoughts on it to see what you were thinking.
Obviously not.
Obviously what?
I'm not staying with the base 16. I already know what my iPhone for the next year is.
Well, I think really his question is, are you going to stay with the base model?
No.
Or okay, there you go.
I went to the base model this year because it did change, and it was enough. It provided enough and had changed enough to where it did better this year than the Pro.
It was interesting enough.
The Pro
for you.
had less change.
Yeah.
And honestly, if they put colors on the phones again,
that helps.
Yeah. If they're committing to colors, then we can have a conversation. But my next phone is the iPhone Air for sure.
Yeah. I think this is a good time to also mention I don't know when this became a thing, but you can kind of expect major iPhone releases to come with a review from us. Right? Is that a fair assumption to make?
Yep.
Do you want to be more specific than that, or are you cool leaving it there?
That's cool leaving it there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can expect that
So I guess
when
the
season
lineup,
rolls around.
I guess the lineup looks like iPhone 17, iPhone 17 Air, iPhone 17 Pro, iPhone 17 Ultra, which is what
Pro
we
Max.
speculated before.
It is,
because I was like, if the 17 is going to look the same, then I don't. It feels weird to have a Pro and a Pro Max. Like they all would have to be individual models or named separately. I guess.
would agree with you.
Never mind. I was going to say something. I don't think I'm allowed to say it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's There's a new feature exclusive
Okay.
to the Pros this year.
The 17 Pro.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's that?
Well, I don't know if I can say, but it's a new software feature. It's new to Apple. Samsung has done it for a long time. Do you want to make guesses and I'll just make faces? Because I don't think I can say it, but I think
we
they
can
could
interpret
view
it that
my
way.
yeah.
Okay, let's do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then that'll be the best spicy intro clip right there.
Okay, go ahead.
And now we can get to the actual guesses. Can you tell it to make you eggs? Okay, he didn't make a face for that one. I don't think that's it.
You need serious inquiries only.
Well, I got to be honest. You put me on the spot. I'm not aware of a lot of software features that Samsung has that iPhones don't.
Oh, I see.
I'll try one more.
It's very gimmicky. It's not going to be life-changing.
I'll try one more.
Well, it might be.
One more. App split screen?
No. But splitting something.
Is that a software feature?
Mm-hmm.
A software feature.
Yep.
Because, okay. I don't know.
It's using hardware, but it is something that could have been done years ago in software. That
I don't know. I'm running out. I don't know.
What if? Oh, I mean, okay.
We leave it there?
I guess so.
I feel like I've done
maybe people can guess in the comments.
I feel like I've done a disservice.
You definitely did. There was a big opportunity here to start name dropping features and have some great tea on this episode, and you guessed eggs.
I don't know.
Does it make eggs?
I don't know a lot of exclusive Samsung software features.
Well, it's not really exclusive. Like other phones do it, but Samsung has been doing it. Like they're the most popular that have been doing it.
Foldy?
I mean, there is one of those. But
Well, yeah. Hey, let's get me out of this little era.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go into another relevant voicemail.
Enjoy speculating in the comments till I can say something.
Bern, this is Matt from Chicago.
Hey, Matt.
Wanted to bring up what may be a contentious point here. I personally have not been excited about Apple hardware outside of the Mac in some time. But that said, I absolutely love my iPhone and I love my iPad mini. With the latest rumors on an actually good no-crease screen foldable, does that change your opinion on foldable phones? I desperately want an iPad mini in my pocket. And if they put Stage Manager on that, chef's kiss on an external display. Stage Manager still needs a lot of work, but sounds like they got a couple of years to make it better. Thoughts? Looking forward to hearing from you guys.
Thanks, Matt. That's a great question. He packaged that really well. Maybe he should go work for Apple because
Maybe he should.
I through his excitement, I also kind of want an iPad mini in my pocket.
You can put an iPad mini in your pocket. It can fit.
I'm not talking about Jinko jeans.
It can fit.
You don't.
No, you don't.
Still not interested?
If everything is an iPad mini, nothing is an iPad mini. The iPad mini loses its luster if you just want an iPhone to also be iPad mini.
He's talking about iPad mini specifically.
Yeah, but you said I want an iPhone. I want an iPad mini in my pocket. That's not. It's just an iPhone that gets bigger.
That's not how I took it. I took it as foldable iPad mini.
No.
I want a foldable iPad mini.
No, he's talking about the rumored foldable iPhone.
No, I know, but I'm just saying.
Which is happening. And yes, there are rumors that they have just figured out how to not have a crease in the middle of the screen. And I really hate to break it to you, but never in my coverage of foldables is the crease the reason I don't want one.
Yeah. I will say
that's never been a reason.
I will say I am excited to see a foldable from Apple.
Yeah.
I am considering the current Apple we're working with. I'm concerned about the software experience on a foldable from Apple. I mean, that's a whole nother dimension of like what works, what doesn't, app compatibility. I mean, my God, that I'm hesitant, but I want to see it.
Yeah.
So.
It is happening, like behind the scenes, obviously. I just still wonder personally, this is speculation, if it'll ever ship.
That's fair.
I just feel by 2027...
we'll have an answer.
We won't need to... I just don't know if that'll still be a thing that we need to do. I'm curious to see if it's going to be... how much market share foldables will have if there's an iPhone version.
That's true. I mean, hey, what a great segue into the next voicemail.
Okay.
Because Apple's never been the first to stuff, really. They always come second and then refine it. Here's another Matt coming in with a relevant voicemail.
Hey, guys, this is Matt from West Virginia again. And this is kind of a continuation of the last time I called in about Apple's name being tarnished and stuff.
Great question, by the way, Matt.
Because of the nature of my jobs that I have, I've had to wield a iPhone and Android phone at the same time,
I wanted to pause it because when I was listening to this voicemail, he said I have to wield an iPhone and an Android phone at the same time. I imagined him dual wielding, like
standing there with phones in his hands,
performing martial arts practice. So I hope you know, Matt. That's what I'm thinking here.
Or you could do it like nunchucks.
That'd be pretty sick.
Like just attach them with a chain,
and then they fold together.
Yeah.
for almost 10 years.
It's a long time.
And I've noticed that the Android comes out with the features first, but Apple comes out with them more refined later. Much later. That's always been the game.
Not anymore.
Yeah, I was going to say not anymore.
Here recently, I've noticed that Apple is falling behind. And I'm wanting to know is, when do you think that Android will probably overtake Apple as far as like features, quality of features, quality of calls, quality of equipment, be it Samsung, Pixel, whatever, I don't care. When do you think that Apple will start sliding into that second slot instead of being the leading edge of technology?
Thanks, Matt. That's a great question.
Well, if you like, I hear people clickety clacking already. If you want to look at market share,
yeah,
like Samsung has a lot, but you have to keep in mind that Samsung releases, I think it's like 52 phones a year. No,
our light
phone
blinked.
just not a phone, a light blinked.
Yeah. Anyway,
they release like 52 phones a year. A
Yeah.
lot are budget phones. If you look at their competition for iPhone, the numbers do not align the same anymore.
No.
In terms of like, no one sells as many individual units for their specific 2 or 3 models of phones like Apple does.
Yeah.
If you have to make 52 phones a year to match Apple's 4 phones a year, that, that's something. So I don't see Apple slipping into the second slot for a long time. If we're considering that, hardware is not going to do it. If hardware was going to do it, this would have happened a long time ago. Samsung would have been winning.
Though they already have higher performance camera arrays.
Yeah, it's always been that way. What's going to do it if Apple slides in the second slot is going to be through software, which is why right now it's kind of scary. If you are a fan of Apple, if you've been following them, because that is where they're falling short by a tremendous degree, and that if you want to pay close attention to where that might cost them, you're going to want to look at Google. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen in the Pixel.
Yeah, and I feel like the thing with Apple, I'd say more so than any other phone manufacturer, especially on the Android side, like nobody gets as dug in as Apple customers. Because you're not just, let me get a new phone this year.
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah, we're in the ecosystem, and it's as many complaints. I've actually been thinking about this.
You
being
plant a little apple seed, and roots grow through your body.
Right. I've actually wanted this to be a piece of content we consider doing. Mm-hmm. I would love to make it a serious effort to do like a month with a Pixel,
All right,
a month
Google,
with a Galaxy.
Do you hear that? No.
No, specifically a Pixel?
Yeah.
I'm actually more interested. I've owned a Samsung Galaxy, but this was an S4, so it's been a minute.
I have a question for you.
What?
So I don't know if we talked about it in Recycle Bin or if it happened in between, but they officially made a public statement with John Gruber on doing Fireball that the Siri features that they promised are delayed.
Yeah.
Like, that is official. And this is after, when you activate Siri on your iPhone now, you have the new pretty gradient animation, which to me is such a disingenuous, like, it looks like the new Siri. Like, if you don't know anything, that looks like they delivered the new Siri, but it's absolutely not the new Siri. The last time there was this big of a software misstep and debacle, it was with Apple Maps.
Yeah.
And they fired Scott Forstall, the leader of software.
Mm-hmm.
They ruthlessly cut him.
Yeah.
What do you think we should expect here? Do we expect anything?
No.
We don't expect. I mean, unfortunately, if you were going to have a similar situation, it would be Craig.
Oh yeah, but
on the line.
No, dude, we're dealing with a completely different Apple, and this is something we're actually going to loosely touch on in our State of the Union Apple video.
Wasn't it Tim Cook that cut Scott?
Let me fact check.
Like
that
he
now.
pressured him to, I'm pretty sure it was Tim that used Scott Forstall as the scapegoat for Apple Maps.
I was going to say that we're dealing with a different Apple, being that these problems don't get traced back to individuals anymore. They just take them in stride. Like, for instance, the Apple Maps thing, that was like mainstream news.
Mm-hmm.
There was like public outrage to it, especially after
there is public outrage to this.
But this
is a massive amount of false
different.
Advertising.
It's totally like, you got to look at it from Apple's
This is like
perspective.
on the website. If they were like Apple, this would be like if Apple Maps wasn't on the phone at all. But it's promised to be on the website. It's on the boxes. It's on everything.
My point is, we have to. This version of Apple is waiting. It's a wait and see now. Like, there's a good chance that this older Apple, when they forced Scott Forstall out, which, by the way, I'm trying to double check who did it. Right?
Well, just check. When did Apple Maps come out? What year?
Well, I'm trying to look at Scott Forstall, Apple's senior vice president of iOS software, is fired from the company after their Apple Maps debacle.
And what year is that?
This was 2000. Oh, come on. Oh, 2012.
Okay, so Steve's dead. So it is Tim Cook.
Yeah.
Like,
my point is that this version of Apple is already waiting and seeing much longer, because maybe there will be consequences if there are less sales for the iPhone 17 line. They're probably going to wait and see, like, well, does anybody care? And if nobody cares, that just gives them more leeway to be looser. And you know what I mean? It's sort of a wheel.
Guess. They didn't wait for Apple Maps. It's like they also
different Apple.
They also want to protect their reputation.
This was 13 years ago. But you're right. They may want to protect their reputation, but like, also, we're on iPhone about to be 17. The numbers are up every year. Why would they care? They're only going to care if actual change happens.
You have to think about it as like internal. Okay, forget public perception. Like, as a company, if you're the CEO and things that were promised as a company are not being delivered, even if the public had never heard about it yet and things aren't being delivered on a schedule, you would look at the person that you put in charge.
I see.
And I think if Craig wasn't as popular and beloved, I think he's gone.
I disagree, but only because this is just more of the same thing we've already seen with Apple Intelligence from the get-go. So all these features were promised for the iPhone 16.
Yeah, but they were promised. They were like, "Hey, it's going to come out at a later date." They missed those later dates a few times to the point where they just had to say, at some point."
Yeah, but my point is we have gotten to a point with Apple where it doesn't. I don't think they care unless there is a serious reason to care, being it affecting sales.
That is unfortunate.
Yeah, I have a pretty jaded, opinion, but I also feel like it's not without backup, like, information. Ironic, dude, I'm doing a great job of segueing into our next voicemails, because last Apple one, and then I forgot, we have a weird confession story for the final voicemail. So here we go, last Apple voicemail.
Hey y'all, this is Karam from Texas, and I just wanted y'all's thoughts on this. I feel like our expectations from Apple are too high, that they ruin almost every other product release.
Jesus.
Things like the iPhone 16e with high expectations on the price and features, or even Apple Intelligence. I feel like most people, when it comes to the basics of Apple Intelligence, they don't mind it. I don't know how many people would really use the context stuff besides us that really care about tech and have high expectations. So just a thought, maybe we need to lower our expectations and we'll love the company after that. Thank you.
Thank you, Karam. At the end there, it sounded like he was about to get hit by a truck.
Uh-huh.
So I hope you didn't.
Yeah.
Hope you're safe. But yeah, very relevant to our situation here.
Yeah, no.
No?
Like, we're giving him too much slack, I think. Like, that's like saying before Siri came out, yeah, but would normal people use it? Like, yeah, that when they... It doesn't matter whether they understand it now as a promised feature. What matters is that is a feature that everyone, once they start using, will never look back. Like that, they will relearn how they talk to a virtual assistant, and that will just be how they do it now.
The personal context is
That's going to be like seamless. It's supposed to be.
That's one of the most arguably important developments for Siri to ever happen within Apple, other than, you got the new animation. And I do believe we have a more conversational Siri now.
Ish.
But it's not great. But that is the sort of final piece of the puzzle for like an actually
What if it
useful
never
Siri.
ships?
It might not.
That would be insane.
Yeah. No, and I think you're right. I think, unfortunately, I don't think lowering our expectations is reasonable. I think having tempered expectations when it comes to software or hardware releases is fine. Not expecting iOS 19 to be like, like when in terms of facelifts or something, like people will get up in arms and get excited about the potential of like, oh, this is going to be brand new, totally all new iOS. And it's like, in reality, they're going to change X, Y, and Z and then maybe touch up this. And that's a good enough facelift. Or like for hardware, it's like this next iPhone's going to fucking fold in half and turn into a ball, and you can throw it, and then Steve catches it from the grave or something. Like it reminds me of back in the day when a new Xbox was coming out, and they're like, guys, have you seen the Xbox 720? It could play wireless Blu-rays or something. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I just don't think it's acceptable to announce a feature at WWDC that like. Think about where it had to have been at WWDC if it's nowhere near ready now.
Exactly.
Like, I don't think they know. I think they're having so many issues that it is so unprepared that there is a less than zero chance. No. Non-zero chance?
Non-zero chance.
Non-zero chance.
Yeah.
Less than zero would be definitely no.
Yeah.
A non-zero chance that it literally never comes out. They never get it to work the way they want
That's scary. That's a potential.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's lowering expectations, which I think is reasonable sometimes. But then there's letting things slide, which I think we should never do when it comes to promises or expectations set by the companies.
Yeah.
Like if they are saying this is coming out, this will be ready, you will get these features, then we should hold them to that. And if we don't, well, okay. I mean, we just give them free money then.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's important. That's integrity. That right there will put Apple in second place. That'll put them in that spot. If they don't follow through with expectations they've set, that's going to do it, in my opinion. Anything else to say in closing about Apple stuff?
Nope, they suck.
Okay. All right. Let's get a little lighthearted. Jern, I'd like you to, the audio is a bit 5 to 10% hard to understand, but I'd like you to be present for the whole message.
Okay.
I'm just telling you this because you can have a lower attention span sometimes. Okay. I'm not putting you on the spot. I'm just saying. Lock in for this one.
I'm locked in.
It's a journey. Okay, here we go. Oh.
Me again.
Here it is.
I'm here in my car listening to all this haterade get spilled to John about the whole sock thing again. And I have decided to come out and unveil my darkly kept secret about my own sock thing. Just so that y'all can all see it could be worse.
It could be worse for you.
So, I don't do it so much these days, but back in college, I was working all the time and taking classes. I didn't have time to do my laundry a lot. So what I would do to save time and effort is I would just wear my socks for multiple days in a row, the same sock. And the idea was I would just pop up in the morning, grab the old sock, put it back on, And if it wasn't crunchy, and it wasn't slimy, then it was still good to go. As the days went on, after wearing them a few times, eventually the split would start making them get all soggy on the bottom, and they would be like slippery. And I knew it was time to stop wearing that pair. And then after you took them off, they'd get all crunchy. Yeah, I don't really think I've ever told anybody about that, and I don't do it these days because I don't know. I just get that time to wash my socks.
Are you
but
sure?
I just want y'all to know there's much worse things John could be doing with his feet.
That's true.
Okay, now that I've painted this horrible image of myself, I will let y'all know. Have a good one.
I did not know that socks could be crunchy.
That brought back memories from when I was a teenage boy with
crunchy?
like friends with other teenage boys, and people would come over. Like, dude, I remember how gross teenage boys are, and like they would have old socks on, or I had friends who would wear their shoes without socks. And their shoes would smell like death.
I know what you mean.
So that just brought. When I first heard that message, I was like starting to like gag a little bit.
What's his name?
He didn't have a name in there.
Oh,
but
no, we couldn't put him on the bad side. We can't shame them for confessing.
No, exactly. But it was very gross. I'm happy you don't do it anymore. And he's right. You could be doing much worse.
That is horrific.
I would much rather you wear a new pair of socks every day for the rest of your life.
At first, I thought he was just confessing, I wear them again. But to wear them to where they get slimy and crunchy.
That got me.
Like, what is in the fabric for them to be like that?
It's just human sweat and
oil and
dirt and horribleness.
Horrific, dude.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Thank
I
you
hope they
for-
were black socks.
Could
Could you imagine if they were white, what they would look like at the end?
Oh, thank you for your confession. My brain, I probably could have researched his phone number, but my brain is saying that he's the caravan pooper. But I don't know for sure.
No fucking way. Is it the same guy?
Tell you what. Let me. I'll get closure
Fact
for us
check it.
here. Yeah, give me 1 second.
Dude, if it's the same guy that poops in the drawers of a camper and had crusty socks,
not 100% on that one.
crunchy socks, like,
Oh.
is
Yeah.
it not?
You vamp for me while I'm checking.
Okay.
We have I have to go through a lot of voicemails.
Oh my
okay?
God. If it's the same person, that is a tragedy of a human.
Yeah.
Like, that's too much. That you can't. And also, why wouldn't you mention in that voice memo or voicemail that you are the same guy? By the way, camper pooper guy, it's me again. Also, while I was pooping in the drawers of the camper, my socks were crunchy or slimy.
That was him. Yeah. Whoop, I can't say that, but same guy. That is our caravan pooper.
He really just was not okay. He was not doing good.
Yeah, he sounds like you were going through something.
And also, he said in the confession, okay, for those of you who didn't hear, this guy called and confessed that
He's a real
spent
star.
a long time. He wanted to poop in places he shouldn't. And it started small, and then it ended up he had filled an entire, not his camper, not his family's camper, a friend of the family's camper, with drawers of his shit.
Yeah.
And toilet full of his fluids, okay?
Yeah.
And then later on, months later, that family took it for a camping trip and then blamed their own like nephew or something for what
their
happened.
own family member.
And he said that in college, he wanted to like confess or like tell, but everyone had like,
Forgotten.
died.
And died, that too.
This is the college version of him. So he moved on from doing the pooping, and then later than that, he had crunchy, slimy socks.
It sounds like he's in a better spot now. Thank you for your confessions. I hope this has lifted and aired out your conscience. Your soul is a little bit brighter, less
What if
crunchy.
he comes back next week with something else?
I hope he does.
What else could there be?
Hey, well, think about it from this angle. He is deflecting so much hate from you and your sock thing to his own sock thing.
He is. He's a martyr.
He's martyring himself for you. He jumped on that grenade, that crusty, slimy sock grenade.
Yeah, yikes.
Thank you, serial camper pooper, for your service.
that's what you won't top that. You will always be known as the camper pooper.
The camper pooper. Okay. Well, with that being said, any closing thoughts for episode 24 of Recycle Bin?
I'm done.
Guys, thank you so much for your voicemails. Leave us more. 404-919-5530. And hey, check out store.frontpagetech.com.
Go ahead and confess to the world through Recycle Bin. What have you done wrong? What have you done that was gross that you've never told anyone? You
tell us all here.
404-919-5530, and we'll see you next week, I guess.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.